Hey everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Karen from To Work With My Hands, and I'm happy to be here today with Hometalk to show you how to make these mini topiaries that you can put anywhere. They are so small and compact, they will go most anywhere you want them to go. I also have some that are a little bit larger. I just wanted to show you these because I'm also going to show you how I painted these pots in a faux marble finish, which will give you a little bit of a different option for your pots. We are going to get started, and while we do, I want you to be sure to tell us where you're tuning in from. Now our little pot has this weathered look finish to it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Don't blink. This is really, really fast. But this is what we're going to finish. This is what it's going to be like when it finishes. I really like that. Isn't that nice? We are glad you're joining us today. Don't forget that there is always a Hometalk giveaway. And we have a question for you today to answer. If you want to be entered to win that giveaway, what have you DIY'd for your front porch? These would be fabulous on your front porch. If you have a nice covered area, a little table, they would look really fantastic.
I'm from Louisiana.
Oh, that's a neighbor, isn't it? Hi. Thank you for joining us from Louisiana.
Georgia.
Yep, that's even a closer neighbor, isn't it? We're in Alabama, by the way. Okay, to decorate this pot, I'm using Deco Arts Snow White, a very clean white, and we're just going to drop a little here. We don't need a whole lot, and I'm using just a simple 1-inch brush. So we're going to take the approach that's like if you're going to stencil, you want a really dry brush, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to load it, and then
Puerto Rico and Michigan.
All over, right?
And Illinois.
Thank you, everyone,
and
for joining us.
California.
We are glad you're here with us. You know, we are halfway through the week. We are headed into the weekend. This will be a fun project for you to do. Huh?
And flower pots.
And flower pots? Or you're getting ideas for the front porch? Great. That is great. Y'all send in those great ideas. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. We're just going to dry brush this on. And another nice thing about this is it dries super fast. And it's just going to give this pot a weathered look so that you don't have just a plain old clay pot to put your cute topiaries in.
Texas. With
Welcome.
an exclamation, too, actually.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Welcome, folks from Texas. Glad to have you with us.
And Missouri, with an exclamation. They only put one. They're not as happy about their state.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Thank you, guys, for joining us. If you like the idea of this show, please share it.
Denmark.
Oh, wow, that's our first viewer from Europe. Thank you.
With no period, even. So they're definitely not excited about that.
Oh, no. I wouldn't say that. Okay, we have almost got this pot. I told you not to blink because this goes really, really quickly. There we go. Our pot is faux weathered.
Delaware.
Oh, great. Right here in the States. Thank you.
Woo-hoo.
Here's another spot, just like on the one I showed you before, where it's a little bit thicker. I really like that. This is dry.
I think somebody took my comment about exclamation points literally. I feel like North Carolina with about 50 exclamation points.
Yay! My cameraman keeps things alive around here. So thank you. Thank you for playing along with him. He is my son, by the way. I'm so thankful to have him. Okay, so here's one that's super dry because I made it, painted it yesterday. I'm going to show you. We're going to go ahead and get started making this little guy right here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your pot that has been
Dublin, Ireland. It's
yes.
Dublin.
Thanks for joining us. We also have a little piece of foam. Now this piece came about this long when I bought it. I chopped it in half. The other half is in there. So you don't have to get any, it's hard to find them this tiny. So you just find what you can find and go with that. And let me mention that this is a 4-inch pot that we're making these little tiny ones in. You're also going to need a dowel rod. These come in 48-inch lengths, and I cut it into a 12-inch length, and it's 1/2-inch diameter. That's a good size for this pot. And then I'll tell you about the paint. I used Coffee Bean by Americana to get a nice dark brown color on our stem here. And if you'll notice, this is not painted. It doesn't really matter. What I did was snapped a clothespin on the end and then attached a string to it and hung it from a hook so that it could dry. That's not even going to show, so that's not a problem.
Waterproof bench.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely, if you're outside, you're going to want waterproof, right? And these, if you put them outside, you're going to want to make sure they're in a protected area. These little boxwood spears come from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can get them other places. That's where I got this one. This is 4.5 inches if you're looking for it online. And then the last thing we're going to use right now are these little stems of greenery. I picked these up at Michael's. They are not boxwood, but they're very similar, so they are going to work just fine.
Robin, Brun, and 4 others shared the video.
Thank you. We appreciate you sharing.
Oh,
That lets us know you're enjoying it.
I've been corrected. They don't talk like that in Dublin.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, haven't we? I can't remember that. Okay, you're also going to need a little glue gun. Now, it's really important with this project that you use a low-temp glue gun because these little guys right here are very delicate and thin and plastic.
From Pakistan.
Wow, thanks for joining us.
A lot of people from Pakistan.
Yeah, we've had quite a few from Pakistan in previous shows, haven't we? So, don't forget low temp because these will burn and they'll melt and they'll fall apart while you're working with them. I know that from experience. I tried it once with the high temperature. Didn't work. So let's drop a little bit of glue here on the bottom of this foam cube. If you're enjoying the show, give us some thumbs up and some hearts. Okay, this kind of makes a, you know, that noise that just makes you want to, so if that bothers you, just be prepared. I think it bothers my camera. Okay, I just want to get that down in there firm because we don't want it to go anywhere. Okay, all done, and I promise we're not going to do that anymore. We're done with that. So that's down in the bottom, good and secure. It's not going anywhere. And now we're going to, well, I guess I did lie. We're going to make another sound because we got to put the we've got to put the dowel in there.
That's more of a crunch though, isn't it?
Yeah, this is kind of crunchy. Okay, that's it. Right in the center, good and steady.
Gonzales, Texas.
Another Texas viewer, thank you. We're glad to have you with us. Now, if you, on these larger ones, I reinforced it with a little bit of hot glue. You don't have to really on these smaller ones.
Little islands.
Yay, thanks for joining us. Don't forget about the giveaway today. Leave us a comment, let us know what you have DIY'd for your front porch for a chance to win today's Hometalk giveaway.
Maryland.
Okay, that is set. So the next thing we're going to do is
Tampa, Florida.
Great, gosh, a lot of different places, right? Thanks
Southern
for joining us.
Louisiana.
Great job. Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Again, we have to stop my camera in a minute. Okay, this is just some paper, like craft paper that I'm using here.
An old wood chair planter.
Huh?
An old wood chair planter.
Wood chair planter?
Mm-hmm. They're also from Michigan.
Yes. Oh, great. I like that idea. That's a good idea for outside, for the porch. We're just filling up this dead space down here. You can
Alaska.
Oh, nice.
I saw a truck from Alaska the other day. Down here.
Yeah, it must have been military. Okay, you just want to fill in this dead space. You can use most anything you have. I have this craft paper on hand, and so that's what I use.
New Hampshire.
Okay, now we're ready to start building our topiary.
Franklin, North Carolina.
Now, if you prefer to put the stems on first, you can do that. I like to put the ball on first. That way I know when to stop. Now, if you will look inside, I had it right here. Okay, you can see that there's some little sections here where it separates. It's not really flat up there, but it's going to work. We're going to put some glue right on the top of our dowel here and around the edges so that the ball will stick. And I'm going to drop a little bit down in there too.
Oh, here's somebody from Alabama.
Oh, welcome, neighbor. Somebody from our own state. We are glad to have everybody here. And I'm going to put a little on the sides too so that when we put it on the stick, it will stay. And
bench out of old hardboards and something that won't show me the rest of the
yeah, it's hard to see all the comments while it's live, right? Or the whole
I can't see the whole comment.
Thank you for sharing your ideas. I'm just going to hold this here for just a second until it gets good and secure. Then we're going to start building our topiary. So tell us too what kind of projects you're working on right now. Okay. There. Now our little ball is on top and all we need are the stems. So all you have to do with these, if you can you get close in on this? Okay, these are just, you see how these are attached? If you've worked with fake greenery, you know how this works. They just pull right off. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull, the ones on the top are kind of hard to get off, and we won't really need that many, so we'll just let that one stay there. We're going to pull several of these off and start attaching them.
So making a kitchen island out of a desk.
Oh, that's a good idea. I've seen them made out of dressers and things. I love to repurpose things. That's a great
Summer
idea.
wreath.
Yeah, good idea.
Summer wreath.
Yeah, it's a good time to make a summer wreath. Okay, that's probably about enough. So you'll just pull off a...
Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Oh, I love that. Good idea. You all have some fabulous ideas. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. Okay, so we have a good supply of these, and now we're going to attach them. So I'm coming a little forward so you can see. You want to put the glue about 2/3 of the way up the back of the little stem. And we're going to start at the bottom. And this is another fantastic reason to use a low temp glue gun. If you use a high temp, you are definitely going to get burned.
That's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all. But a low temp is not bad. So it's going to take me just a few minutes to get these on. So while we're doing that, tell us, would you make one of these? If you would, who would you make it for? And it's okay to say yourself. And if there's any questions, please be sure to send those in. My cameraman will pass those along, and we will do our best to answer them for you.
Step Above by Jerome and 10 others shared the video.
Thank you for sharing. Give us some hearts and some thumbs up if you're enjoying.
Somebody says if you wear gloves, you won't get burned.
That's a good idea. I am not a glove wearer.
Someone said they would wear, or they would make them for their house.
That's what, actually the two bigger ones are for our house. And I'll show you in a few minutes.
A wishing well out of old pallet material.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, it is. It's like an old-fashioned well that, there's a lot of projects that you can make out of pallets. I've seen them on Pinterest. The wishing wells, that is. Okay, so you
Painted entry rug.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've seen those. That's a great idea. That way you can match it to your decor.
Liana Hawksworth apparently shared the video. They said they shared the video.
Thank you. Okay,
And Maria Acolina? It's Aicolina.
I'm sure they'll correct you if you're mistaken.
Acolina.
Thank you.
And 11 others.
For sharing. We appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to tell us we've had some great ideas of what people are DIYing for their front porch.
Could you add fake miniature flowers?
Absolutely. If you want to, you absolutely can.
And Shannon Lowry shared the video.
Thank you for sharing. This is really, I like to create projects that are pretty open-ended, that are just basically an idea. And I love it when people take the basic idea and then just make it their own. Change it up if you want to. Add fake flowers if you want to. Do what you like to make it personal for you.
Wendy Mullen and 13 others shared the video.
Thanks. Wow.
Add lights.
Add lights. Oh, wow. That is a fantastic idea. That is really great. That would look so pretty. Okay, we have almost made it to the top. Now, I was going to mention earlier, if you want to have these sticking out a little less, you can glue them down even tighter.
Make something similar, probably with ivy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do
different
ivy.
Colored moss. Like, I guess they're talking about the moss on the bottom of these.
Yeah, you could do that. I think this is probably going to be the last one we put on. Okay. So you can still see our rod. And also you can probably still see some glue. Once it has a good chance to really dry up well, you can go back in and pick off all those little strands, which are so typical of hot glue. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is add the moss to cover up our paper. Make it look prettier. Just poke it in there. The little's hanging over the side, that's fine. Looks good.
Someone asked, where did you get the boxwood balls?
I bought those from Hobby Lobby. Earlier this season, they were in the store, in the spring collection. But when I got ready to purchase these, they were not in the store. So I was able to get them from Hobby Lobby online, actually.
Add fruit to the top of the ball, is what somebody said.
Oh, yeah.
And
I love
Sally Jane Cummings and 14 others shared the video.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying it. Okay, so we have our mini topiaries here, and if you weren't with us at the beginning of the show, we're not going to make the larger ones. They're kind of the ball kind of stays in my face. They're so tall. But I made these earlier. They are made just like the smaller ones, except that, let me give you the dimensions on the larger one, if you like the larger ones. The pot is a 6-inch pot. The dowel is a 5/8 inch dowel, and then the ball is 6.5 inches. So everything else is the same. I used the very same sprigs to go up it, same color paint for the dowel rod.
Oh, so you could put little birds and little butterflies in there too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. A lot of creative ideas. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those. So the last thing I want to do...
Bird seeds for your feathered friends.
Oh, yeah. Well, they would be all over them then, wouldn't they? Mm-hmm. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to make these pots. We did the weathered pots at the beginning of the show. These take just a little bit longer, but I really wanted to show them to you because I think they look really great. They look like marble, but they're not, obviously. So.
Are they real?
Or what real?
I do not know.
Okay. If you can clarify that question, we will definitely answer. Nothing is real. Everything is fake.
Faisal, Sini, and 15 others share the video.
Thank you.
I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Thanks for sharing. So here's our 6-inch pot. And what I have done is given it 2 coats. This is a sample paint canister that I picked up at Lowe's. It's called Sugar and Cream. Oh, yes, Sugar and Cream. I chose this for another project that I was doing, and I thought it looked really good on this. You can use any color you like. If you want to go for a more a classic marble look, you can go with white. But you just want a good base coat. This is the coat that's the color that you're going to see the most of on your pot. So that's what that is. I gave it 2 coats and let it dry. And now we're going to do the marble effect. And I'll tell you what we're using as we use them and what all we need. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put on the first vein. Now, you know marble has veins in it, and so that's what we're going to copy. This is Folk Arts Teddy Bear Tan. And again, you can use any colors that you like that to get the look that you're going for. These are just the colors that I chose, and they coordinate real well with this sugar and cream. We want we're going to dilute this paint about 1 to 3.
How much is the sample paint?
You know what, I don't remember exactly because I bought some other things that day too, but it's less than $5. I know at Home Depot they are like $3.80 something. This is the first time I bought it at Lowe's. I would imagine it's comparable. $3 to $4, I would say. And they're great for small projects when you don't want to have to buy the big, even a gallon of paint.
Looks like mustard.
Yeah, honey mustard, right? Okay, so we've let's dilute it just a little bit more. This is not rocket science, just whatever looks good to you will work. Okay. Now, this is our, oh, and I do want to mention something else. This technique, I did not come up with this technique. This is not my own. I found it online. I wanted to do a project with a faux marble finish, and so I went online and did some research. I found a lot of videos, a lot of blog posts that talked about how to do this. If you're interested in the post that I got the most help from, just leave a comment down in the comments, leave a question, and I'll come back later and give you that link. So what we're going to do is use the tip of a feather because we want a really light touch. You can get a feather from your yard if you live in a place where you can do that, or the park or whatever, or you can go to a craft store. Now remember, the veins are diagonal, so we're going to start at the top and just drag it down. Let the feather spin and twist. Okay, this is it's random is what I'm trying to say. It's not distinct lines. Okay, after you've done 2 or 3.
Someone says that they would love the link.
Do what?
They're saying they would.
Oh, they would love the link. I will drop that in the comments after the show is over. I definitely will. Okay, you want to use a sea sponge that's pretty damp and go back over these veins, and we're just softening them up. You don't want to let them really dry out. You want to work pretty quickly here. And you see it smearing? That's good. That's what we want. We're just softening that vein that we put on there so that it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of the pot. Instead, it's like it's a part of the pot or whatever surface you're painting. Remember, use a very light touch. Let it twist and turn, and we can also connect a few of these veins if we want to do that. Okay, I'm going to do maybe one more, and then we'll use the sponge again. Now, I saw a video where a lady used a wadded up bag, like a Walmart bag, or you know, the plastic shopping bags, instead of a sea sponge. So if you'd like to try that, I haven't tried that, but I can see where it would probably work nicely. Okay, so we're just softening it up. And again, this is so, while it's still damp, if you do something that you don't like, you can really just clean it up, wash it off. Keep a paper towel handy. And, you know, you can fix any mess ups pretty quickly. All right, we're going to put maybe one more on here. And just keep it light. Maybe connect that. So if you put something on there and then think, well, I just don't really like that, you can clean it off and start over. Okay, so that probably doesn't look like marble just yet, but do you see any places maybe we need to add a little more? Maybe a little short one right here. Let it spin and blot it. Okay. I think we're good to go. All right, next step, we're going to choose a lighter paint. This is Desert Sand by Deco Art, another color that I use frequently. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to dilute the paint, and we can even use the same feather, just wipe it off. The fun thing to me about these faux finishes is they often look like they're very complicated, but they're so simple. Let's give that a mix. Don't forget, there's a giveaway today from Hometalk. So if you will let us know in the comments what you have DIY'd for your front porch, you can be eligible to win that prize today. So again, we're going to dip the paint, and don't want it too heavy. So I'm just going to roughly follow the vein that I did before, not right on top of it. It's okay if it's not exact. And
what type of shrub do you use?
What type of shrub?
Yes.
It's boxwood. It's, of course, faux boxwood. And follow our same pattern. And we have you can see now we've got a little bit of different coloration going on. And we're just going to... Huh? Yes, marbled coloration. Remember to keep a really light touch with your feather. Let it spin if it wants to and twist. And it doesn't have to be exact. You really don't want it to be exact. This is a real randomized.
Somebody said a DIY plant hanger that they crocheted.
Oh, I love to crochet. That is something I've never made, though. I'd love to see that. If you'd like to share a picture in the comments, I would love to see that. I'll be reading the comments after the show. Okay, we are going all the way around. Here we go. Just adding to what we've already put in this lighter color. Keeping it loose and random. And this is our last vein. And it is going to, it's going to show up in a minute. I think it's already beginning to look a little marbly. That the secret, not the secret, but the what really does it is blotting it with the sponge, kneading it.
Pencil. Pencil lead.
Pencil lead? For what?
For coloration.
I guess you could do.
Like
yeah,
that there kind of looks like pencil lead.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what we're doing next. This is Dark Gray by Craft Smart. This is a Michaels brand paint. It's a little bit looser than the other paints, so I'm not going to put quite as much water in it. But this color, you want to be, this is our really loudest color, I guess. So we want to be careful with it that we don't go overboard with it. But this is really what's going to do it for you. Because I think regardless of what kind of marble it is, there's always some gray in there, don't you think?
Someone said a decorative rocks in wire bed. I called it bedrock.
Oh, I like that. That is so creative. Thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying this show. If you are, please give us some likes and share the video. And don't forget to let us know what you've DIY'd for your front porch. Okay, for this one, I'm going to go, it's going to be pretty distinct at first. It's just a much stronger color. So I'm not going to let as many go before we blot it with the sponge. That side of the sponge is kind of dry. Make sure you keep your sponge nice and moist. Okay. Is that looking a little more marbly? I'm going to moisten the sponge a little bit because it's getting kind of dry. So, hey, can you shoot the topiaries again in case we've got some people who may have been joining us later? We're making topiaries right now. We're making a marbled kind of a marbled look for the clay pot. If you decide to make topiaries, tell us who you would make them for. There we go. And we're just following.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yes, please do. Like and share the video if you're enjoying it. And subscribe to the channel here so that you can always catch the videos. You know what? We haven't talked too much today about weather. Isn't that what people always talk about, the weather? What's the weather like where you are? We have really sunny, beautiful weather here.
It was bad yesterday.
Yeah, it was. My cameraman was reminding me it was pretty bad yesterday. We had rain and it was yucky.
It's bad.
Okay, so we are almost all the way around. Do you think that's looking more marbly? You know, it might have looked better to put that on, put them on the same side, so you could just totally wipe that off and start over if you don't like it.
Hawksworth says she would make it for her family.
Yep, gift giving is fun, isn't it?
It's very hot in Texas.
I'm not surprised. It is hot here too, but since we had rain yesterday, it's not too bad.
Haha, somebody else got the rain.
Okay, what do you think? I'm thinking this is really looking good here. I like the way this looks. Kind of give it a good look. What do you think of it? And you can make sure you're happy with it. We've got one more step to do, but we're through with the veining.
So if you're not happy with it,
if you're not happy with it, you can take your sponge and I'll show you down here. Just go ahead and can you see that? Mm-hmm. We're just wiping it right off. Okay. It will do that if you know it hasn't been on there that long, so you can wipe it off and start again. We'll add that back.
Storms in Central Florida for 14 days straight.
My goodness, that's kind of discouraging when it rains so much, isn't it? We don't have a lot of that here, but I know that's pretty common, or somewhat common in the Northwest. My hat's off to you folks who endure that. Okay, so we kind of put a little back on there. Now the last thing we're going to do is use a very light tan. This is almost a white. It's called Bleached Sand by Deco Art. And we're going to do a last touch that really just sets this off and makes it look marbly.
They were in a drought, though.
Oh, really?
It just came out of one.
So being very thankful for the rain, I'm sure. Okay, with this one, we're going to use a stencil brush, and we're not going to dilute the paint. And just like when you stencil, we're going to get it good and
She said
loaded.
they do need some sun for a bit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, just kind of
How
makes you
would
feel
it
better.
look with different colors?
The pot?
Like
Well-
I assume the marble.
Yeah, well, there's a white marble with mostly gray veins. You obviously would not use any of these more tan colors. You'd use varying shades of gray. And have you seen black? But you could go with black. That would be very dramatic. So what we're going to do here is just pop a few little white. It's called bleached sand. It's more of a tan, but it's showing up white here, if you can see that. And this seems kind of unusual, and again, I shared with you earlier, this was not my idea. I found several tutorials online. One lady, when she did this step, used a toothbrush. When I did another project, I even used the tip of the feather. But I like the stencil brush because it's good and firm. And then we're going to blot again. Oh, that's got a little paint on it from earlier. We're just going to blot that to mute it so that it's not so loud. It doesn't just show up. I mean, it's there, you see the effect of it, but it's not just in your face, white blobs. Okay. I think we've made it almost all the way around. There we go. Now, does that look somewhat like a marbled pot?
Yes, it does.
A lot different than just a plain terracotta pot, right? Okay, so then if you choose to use this technique, then you can follow the pattern that we did before to create your own topiaries. So
Don't forget to share with your friends.
Don't forget to share with your friends. Thank
And
you.
like.
Huh?
And like.
And like, yes.
And
Share,
subscribe.
like, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. Subscribe below so that you can catch all the Hometalk videos. So we're going to recap here what we've done today. We have made mini topiaries in little weathered pots, or faux, it's all faux weathered pots. And we have made not so many topiaries in these faux marble pots. Are there any questions that I can answer? I think we'll be announcing the winner of the giveaway in just a few minutes, but while we're waiting for that, can you, if you have any questions, be sure to send those in, and if we don't get to them before we end the show, I'll be going through those comments over the next few days. I'll get to your question. If somehow I do miss it, this post is on Hometalk. Just go to the Hometalk page, drop your question there, and I will definitely get.
Okay.
I'll get notification of that, and I'll definitely get back to you. Answer
We
your
have a
question.
winner.
Okay, we're going to announce our winner here. We had a lot of great ideas for what you would DIY for your front porch. What have we got?
Dusty A.
I'm sorry?
Dusty A.
Dusty A is our winner?
Yes.
Congratulations to you, Dusty. We're so excited that you've won. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who has chimed in and given us ideas and participated. We really thank you for that. My name is Karen from To Work With My Hands. I've had a great time here with you today. I want to remind you that Hometalk will be live again today at 3 o'clock. Don't miss that.
Are those real plants?
No, these are faux. These came from Hobby Lobby. These are faux boxwood balls. You can get them, I don't know if you can get them in the store anymore, but you can get them online. And I'm sure there's other places you can find them. That's just where I got those. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you got your question right there at the end before we sign off. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button below so that you can always know when Hometalk is going live. Come back at 3 o'clock today for another fantastic DIY video. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye. Have a great afternoon.